Welcome to General Assembly. We will begin with attendance.
Okay, Representative Lee. Representative Competti. Representative Liu. Representative Lendell. Representative Butcher, sorry. Representative Thomas. Representative Ladelfa. Representative McHenry.
President voting.
Representative Thompson.
President voting.
Representative Wu.
President voting.
Representative Heck.
President voting.
Representative Zhu.
President voting.
Representative McCormick.
President voting.
Representative Smith Theodore.
President voting.
Representative Fitch.
President voting.
Representative Sabe.
President voting.
Representative Arumagasami.
President voting.
Representative Moeller.
President voting.
Representative Paul.
President voting.
Representative Malloy.
President.
Representative Devin Smith. That works.
President voting.
Representative Gallo.
President voting.
Representative Williams.
Voting in president.
Representative DeBaz. Speaker Redenzik.
Present.
Treasurer Schloff.
Present.
Treasurer Truong. Parliamentarian McKee. Vice President Dooner.
President voting.
Vice President Cruz.
President voting.
Vice President Cummins.
President voting.
Vice President Shaw.
Present.
Vice President Vice President Hale.
President voting.
President Agarwal. And do we have any guests with us tonight? If so, please stand and state your name.
Hi, my name is Paul Mannix. I'm one of the co-founders of Crew Capital, and I'm here to represent Capital and answer any questions you may have regarding what our organization is.
We'll start there and go down. So,
I'm Joseph Digby. I'm a president. I'm here on behalf of Sage App, who
Hi, I'm Patrick Bond. I'm the head for the diversity and inclusion.
I'm Will Weatherston. I'm running for
Allie Kowalski, election commissioner and at-large representative. Elena Dorbeck, chair of the steering committee and at-large representative. And I'm also an elections commissioner. And one vice president.
I'm Jim Toll, and I'm here pursuing a role to represent the engineering.
I'm also trying to run for representative of
I'm Laura Payne, I'm running for first rep.
I'm Levi Ridgway, and I am running for first year representative.
well, welcome all. We will now commence with the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will start the evening out with committee reports, starting with President Agarwal for Executive Committee.
Good evening, everyone. So just want to talk about some co-sponsorships that Exec has been working on, addressing these past couple of weeks, and some that we're going to get in the future. We've been very busy in the co-sponsorship arena. We just approved the Harvest Festival request for $1,000. It's a very successful event last year, and we anticipate it to be equally successful, if not more, this year. We have a decision pending on 2 fraternity philanthropy events, Delta Upsilon Rave and Delta Chi philanthropy event. So we should be hearing from these representatives on Thursday. The Delta Upsilon Rave decision is pending right now. And if you guys might want to check your calendar because something special is happening this weekend, fall retreat. It's going to be a blast. Your executive board has been working very hard to make this weekend the best it can be. It's going to be jam-packed with fun and a lot of learning, so be prepared. If you are on the GA list, you should have received a Google Doc survey. Please fill that ASAP. It's very simple. It's like 5-second, yes, I'm coming, no, I'm coming, and any food restrictions, please fill that as soon as possible so that we know how much lunch to get. And I should be sending a kind of a brief schedule and a packing list after GA tonight, so you guys are prepared for that. And before I open to points, I would like to do something. I would like to inaugurate our new speaker and our new executive board member, Mr. Anthony Redensic. So if you could please step in front of the board table and repeat this oath. Please raise your right hand. I state your name in full.
I, Anthony Redensic,
Do solemnly swear as an officer of the USG
do solemnly swear as an officer of the USG
to responsibly represent my constituency
to responsibly represent my constituency
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I promise to faithfully uphold the Constitution
I promise to faithfully uphold the Constitution
and all appropriate bylaws of the USG.
and all appropriate bylaws of the USG.
As an elected representative to the USG,
As an elected representative to the USG,
I further pledge to serve the students of Case Western Reserve University
I further pledge to serve the students of Case Western Reserve University
with integrity and honesty.
with integrity and honesty.
Congratulations. Alrighty, I'm open to points. Okay, thank you.
Student life.
Good evening, GA. Short and sweet as usual, woohoo. So just to keep you updated on some things we've been working on since the start of the year. Still chugging away at SWIG projectors. A bill in the future for that. Reminder that housing's looking for continuous funding to actually maintain the program. As far as newspapers and the residence halls, I do have some more information about why they were canceled. I met with Mara Gallagher from RHA, and she had met with some staff from housing. Apparently, housing had a very large budget cut, just like the rest of the university, and the newspaper service was one of the first things to go. And all of the newspapers, except for the Times, that were in the res halls are available online, so if people still want to read them, you can find them online. But Mara did say that she was following up with maybe possibly getting a university account so people can still read the Times online, just like they could in the res halls before. To dispel a myth, there are no newspapers in the area offices. So apparently there's a rumor that there's newspapers in the area offices. Nope, no more newspapers. Also from Mara, if you come across broken handicap buttons, this is also one of her little pet projects, submit a maintenance request. She said that they're working hard to get a lot of them fixed. If you notice in the village, a lot of the handicap buttons don't work. But just submit a maintenance request so that there's at least a paper trail and someone else knows about it besides you, and help Mara out on that one. We are still following up on the pool hours and sports equipment resolutions from last year, but those actually seem to be progressing. Naveen's doing a good job with those. And water bottle fountains, good news, over the summer one was installed by the tennis courts at Top of the Hill. Apparently, we've been told it's the first of its kind in Ohio, quite the engineering marvel. So check it out. It's actually really cool. I accidentally deleted the picture of it on my phone. Otherwise, I probably would have emailed it to GA. Some new stuff that we are starting to work on this week. We received a feedback form complaint about Denny's sound pollution, so just investigating that some more. Also, we're looking at ways to better disseminate information about the Denny's hours and getting rid of this 24-hour myth. We're also, in the long term, thinking about possibly publishing a schedule or getting a regular schedule for village field lights and Freiburger field lights, so that students know when they can use those fields at night. And also following up on the mysterious elephant stairs and other lights not being on at night. So if you tripped up the elephant stairs, hopefully that won't happen in the future. Open to points. Cool,
I'm just wondering, like, back to the newspapers. So does that mean there aren't any newspapers, like, in the Sages Cafe or, like, in Yoast or anything either?
I don't know. That's a good question. The only ones I know about is that Housing no longer does their newspaper program, which was everything in the residence halls.
Is the speaker aware that the Graduate Student Senate for Weatherhead kind of people have been working on an initiative to have those publications in PBL?
The speaker was not aware.
Representative Williams.
Actually, on the newspaper program, I'm just curious, since I guess it was one of the first things they cut, was it not a popular program? Because every time I went to go get a newspaper, they were always like out. So.
I'm not exactly sure because I wasn't there for those discussions, obviously, but Mara did indicate that it was a combination of the sheer cost of the program. It was sort of lightly used. I do know that it was used. USA Today actually contacted USG with a bunch of stats about the program, but also that it wasn't very sustainable. Obviously, having a bunch of paper like that going through the campus every day is a lot of waste. But that's what I know some of the reasoning was.
Any other points?
Thanks very much.
Vice President Shaw.
Good evening, GA. So last week we had our two last President and Treasurer workshops. They were jam-packed, and if any of the presidents or treasurers that you know of haven't been to the workshops yet or haven't met with me, then please let them know that they need to. Otherwise, they will not be able to be reimbursed because I will have a hold on any disbursements from the treasurers. And also, this week in the Finance Committee, well, actually last week, we managed to give out $1,977.46 in rolling funding out of the $9,022.54 that was requested. And I didn't realize that I was supposed to pass a bill, but I will take care of that next week. As always, feel free to come in during my office hours. I am open to points.
What are the highlights from the almost $2,000 we give out?
Some of the highlights. Finance Committee, feel free to jump in if you'd like. Okay.
I know there was. Okay, so I know there was something for like bake sale ingredients. It was a fundraiser to like donate. I don't remember the specifics, but that's what it was for. I remember the food. There was food. We did something with the Society of Women Engineers is going to their convention, and I think we're paying for their registration fees and maybe some of their room costs. And there were several other ones, but I don't remember.
Okay.
Any final points for the speaker?
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Treasurers, do we have any treasurers present?
Okay, my treasure tip of the week is that if you're really bored, you should go and rent a board game from Waiter Fribley. My favorite is Apples to Apples. You can play it with a lot of people. On a more serious note, a lot of disbursements have been coming in. Some of the student groups are still filling out the paper forms and not the online ones, so we really need to get onto online ones, and me and Stephen are going to be really strict about filing those from now on.
Thank you. Vice President Cummins.
Everything's pretty much summed up in my board report. I was planning on speaking a little bit about my meeting with Dean Wilkowitz today, but that was pushed back. That's about it. Points.
Thank you.
This week's meeting's at 6 on Wednesday, and we're going to be talking about transfer students and how to increase them and make it more attractive to come to Case.
Vice President Cruz.
All right, guys, so I still don't have a whole lot for you this week. Just hope you're settling in your classes really well. I've changed my office hours times a little bit. If you need to come in and talk, I don't know anyone who ever needs to come in and talk about public relations, but if you do and you can't make those times, just email me. Again, committee time will be finalized after retreat and we get more schedules figured out. Additionally, Catwalk and Anchor Splash are coming up. And I know they're specifically requesting teams that are not for other Greek organizations, so I was thinking, we've got 50 people, let's put together a team. So I don't know, if you guys are interested, you just like raise your hands. Like, is anyone interested in doing Catwalk at all? Yeah, Elena, way to be. Okay, what about Anchor Splash? Anyone want to do synchronized swimming? Anyone? That was good. That was good. Okay. Well, I'll be sending out emails about that to Pastor Yu because we should do it. It's basically how it rolls. Any points? Yes.
Are we going to gather a team for intramural soccer?
I would like to. As soon as our committee gets put together, I'm planning on designating someone as the intramurals person who will be organizing things. In the meantime, I'm just trying to figure out the IM's website. I don't know how it works really, but I will figure it out. Any other questions? All right. Thank you.
Vice President Dooner.
Hello. So I guess the story of my USG life this year has been Case Wireless being troublesome. I got a call from someone high up in ITS that's been dealing with this problem. I was wondering, Matt, can I borrow your computer really quickly? There's a solution to Case Wireless if you can't connect. If there's an error, let's see, can I break? So the trick is it's caused by a problem in password synchronization. So if you go, so the trick is you have to reset your password. So if you reset password there, just go to case.edu/ITS and then go to reset your password. He said that fixes about 80% of the problems right there with Case Wireless. If you're still having a problem and you're using a Mac, there's another little bug that they've found. More or less the solution that ITS really wants for you if you can't connect to this new faster network is just call them. Either call the help desk or take your computer into Bellflower or Sears. They've seen it all. They can fix it. So if you don't want to be left out, do that. Okay, Blackboard mobile app is still going strongly. We'll get back to that a little bit later in GA, I suppose. And also the bill that we'll be discussing later. Any points, Mr. Moe?
Have you gotten many complaints about the printing in Nord situation recently?
No.
Okay, so apparently, like, if you print to the Sears copier in the hallway outside there from a computer in the lab, it shows up as, like, print job number, and you have no idea what number you are, so you have to kind of guess which print job you are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's inconvenient.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Ms. Perlowski.
I was wondering if you have any update on like actual Blackboard, like not the app, but it seems like they have a lot of bugs with it, and I was wondering if you've touched base with anyone, because like, for example, professors can't email announcements anymore, and I know a lot of people
Really?
are missing out on things.
So, I mean, the new upgrade came through right before the beginning of the school year, and perhaps it was not the most opportune timing for a major upgrade. Though they're working hard to fix these problems, I suppose. I'm this close to having a meeting with the person that runs Blackboard, so we're going to be discussing all these things. So yeah, thank you for that.
Vice President Shaw.
So what Kevin was saying that's happening in Nord, I think the same thing is happening in the village, but I don't know if it's because like I'm printing from my own laptop.
It should still say the name of the thing you're printing, though.
No.
Really?
Not even in the village.
I will look into that. Okay, thank you.
Final comment. Yes, you.
This is actually back on the blackboard. I know on my computer, I think this kind of just goes along with what Ms. Prolosky said, but PDFs are not, I can't open them, which kind of makes it just really inconvenient to do.
What browser do you use?
I usually use Safari, but.
Okay. Oh, I've heard, okay. Thank you.
Like
I've heard other people with Safari having problems. So I will bring that up. Oh my gosh, so many points.
All right, final comment.
I was just wondering if you were doing something to tell the student body about the solution to the case wireless, or if people should just call, because I know a lot of people have just kind of given up on it.
Yeah, so this is kind of my 15 minutes or my 15 seconds of fame. Also, someone from the Observer contacted me asking, what's up with Case Wireless. I'm not exactly sure why they contacted me instead of someone in ITS, but I sent them basically the spiel I just gave everyone here. Change your password. If you have a Mac, there's another bug, and just contact ITS. So there should be a thing in the Observer this week. Thank you.
Any other questions can be submitted through the USG feedback form, or you can contact Vice President Dooner directly. Parliamentarian tip of the week.
The tip of the week this week is on friendly amendments, since I imagine we might be making a few of those with our legislation. Friendly amendments work as in somebody offers an amendment, and when it gets seconded, the speaker will ask the assembly if there are any objections. So even if you are not the author of the bill, you are allowed to object to any amendment, and that will force a vote on it instead of it just passing as friendly. Thank you.
Elections update, Commissioner Prolosky.
Okay, so as you all heard, we have two first-year candidates here tonight, which is very exciting. Yeah, thanks for being here, guys. The election has been running very smoothly thus far. There have been no campaign violations reported, which is really good. I mean, I would say that's not atypical. First years are very good at listening to rules, whereas upperclassmen sometimes aren't. And we're prepared to deal with any violations that come up during the election process, which is where a lot of mistakes sometimes happen. Elections, so if you all look in your agenda, please cross out where it says Thursday and Friday and write Wednesday and Thursday, because I was having thought problems when I wrote this. Voting starts tomorrow at 8 a.m. and continues until 11:59 p.m. on Thursday. And then candidates will be notified of in that window immediately following the election, so that they can be prepared to go on your retreat this weekend. Other than that, I'm open to points.
Representative Thompson.
Have you set up collegiate link?
Defer to Vice President Dooner.
Nothing has changed on Collegiate Link since last year, so I'm expecting no issues. No, the lists are in there all set up. Yeah.
Technology expertise here.
Representative Williams.
Were we able to secure some commuter students?
There were no commuter student letters of intent admitted, so there will be none elected in this election. So then the responsibility then kind of unfortunately falls upon the assembly to fill that vacancy as you would fill any other vacancy. So I apologize, and I did reach out to the list of students, and I will be passing that on to Parliamentarian McKee and Secretary Brown so that they can reach out to those students again as vacancies are open.
Any final points? Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Storbeck for Pizza Olympics.
Hi guys. So I am taking over, not taking over. I am the chair of the Pizza Olympics Steering Committee this year, which is kind of a new thing after Keith left us last year. And I'd just like to announce that Pizza Olympics will be on November 8th, which is a Tuesday, from 11:30 to 1. So I'm hoping that you are all putting that in your calendars right now because you are all going to be there. And it's going to be in a Delbert gym this year to account for the increased attendance and larger vendor number. And with that has come increased costs and other items of business that we have to cover. So that's why we need a lot of people that will be willing to attend our meetings for the steering committee. And our next formal meeting will be September 27th. It's a Tuesday at 5:30 prior to GA. And we'll be going over some of these matters. But yeah, so right now, over the next 2 weeks before a meeting, Taryn and I are going to be working on contacting vendors, and we're going to be doing that through a letter and then calling them and arranging a personal meeting. And what we're trying to do is keep this event a vendor-driven event so that their needs are accommodated and that they have a voice in this event, but giving students the opportunity to taste and sample the pizza. So other than that, I'm open for points.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Oh.
Oh.
I'm excited. I don't know about anyone else. Just thought I'd add that.
Oh, I do have one more thing. If you are interested in serving on the steering committee besides volunteering, please see me after the meeting. Thank you.
Diversity and inclusion.
So we had our first official meeting yesterday, and we have officially 23 students sitting on our committee, which is great. It's a really big improvement from last year. But what we do need still is we only have one religious organization represented on our committee, and that's the Hillel Foundation. So if any of you are friends with someone who is a part of one of the religious organizations on campus, we would really appreciate it if you could talk to them and send them my way. I've contacted them, but they've still haven't contacted me back. And we have 3 people officially running for the subcommittee heads within our committee, which is great. So I'm open to points. Yes.
Initiatives or goals that you want to do during the year yet?
So our main goals for the year are to first stabilize ourselves as a committee. Our second goal is to promote co-sponsorship amongst the people within our committee, the groups in our committee. And our third goal is to just educate the greater campus community on the different aspects of diversity that we are promoting this semester. Yes.
Can the speaker reiterate to our new members and representatives what 3 subcommittees compose your?
So our 3 subcommittees for this semester are cultural diversity, socioeconomic diversity, and philanthropy. Yes.
Any final points? Thank you. Okay. We will now, are there any caucus reports? All right, seeing none, we will move into old business. Vice President Dooner.
Move to remove Bill B2101 from the table.
Okay. Okay, so we will now go into discussion about the bill just removed from the table. Discussion will be for 2 minutes. I ask that everyone remember that this bill is only related to recognition. Do I have any speakers? All right. Okay. All right. So, all right, now we take a vote to end discussion and move to a vote. All in favor of calling to the previous question, ending discussion, going to a vote, please signify by raising your hands. Okay, all opposed? Abstentions? Okay. And now we move into the vote. All those in favor of passing Bill B.21-01, please signify by raising your hands. Okay, all opposed? Abstentions? Okay, bill passes. Okay, we are now moving into the elections portion of tonight's business. We have several positions open. Would anyone like to begin by opening nominations for School of Engineering? So moved. Okay. Excuse me, forgive me. Right, so we are. Yes, Vice President Duder.
Move to close nominations for School of Engineering.
Second.
Thank you. Right. Okay, so now that nominations are closed, will all candidates except for William Wetterston please leave the room?
So if you are a candidate running in any of the elections taking place tonight, if you would please step outside while we do the speeches from the other candidates. Thank you.
Mr. Wetterston, if you could go to the podium, please. You will have 2.5 minutes, both for presenting yourself and then taking any questions from the assembly.
Hi. My name is Will Wetterston. I'm from San Francisco, California. I'm a sophomore computer science major, and I'm interested in running for representative from the engineering school. You have my speech, so I won't read it. I'll just summarize it. I've already ran for USG twice, unsuccessfully, once against Matt McKee, once for student life, which was a landslide. Anyways, I did student government in high school and really enjoyed it, and it's something I've wanted to do here. Didn't get to do it last year, but I'm hoping it's possible this year. Questions?
Representative Thompson.
So as an ESA student, what would be your number one, goal with regards to the ESA department if you were elected?
If I made it onto Mr. Dooner's committee, I'd want to focus on educating teachers about Blackboard. Because I'm sure all of you have had to surf through, course documents or assignments, and you find the syllabus over in like announcements or, crazy stuff like that that just shouldn't happen. It's just wasted time.
Ms. Dorbeck.
What about an objective for your school?
An objective for my school? I would say improving the response time for maintenance requests in the dorms. Like in my suite, our shower drain was clogged 4 days ago, and so I've just been showering in my girlfriend's suite. Things like that are like borderline unacceptable. So,
Vice President Cruz.
Can you speak to some of your other time commitments, as far as will you be able to budget time for USG?
Oh, absolutely. This portion of the day is open. I'm taking 17 credits, so that's not an incredible load. So I think I'll be just fine.
Representative McHenry.
What qualities do you think you have that will allow you to effectively be an effective representative here in USG?
I love Case Western. It's as simple as that. I came from far away, but I like it, and I like Cleveland too.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Can we now please have James Cole? Please go to the podium. You will have 2.5 minutes to speak and present yourself, and then take questions from the assembly.
Well, I'm sure that you guys know I'm Jim Cole. I am trying to represent the engineering school here, and you probably all read the letter, I'm assuming, but maybe just run down it real briefly. I don't have a lot of time commitments other than Engineers Without Borders, so, you know, probably have plenty of free time for this. Jazel was explaining to me what kind of commitment this is, and I think that I have enough time for that kind of accommodations. And, you know, I've thought of a few things since I've come to campus, types of things where I think that there could be improvements. So if anyone's interested in hearing anything about that, you know, I assume that you've read the thing, but if there's any, yes, in the green.
I'm going to ask you the same question I asked the previous candidate.
Sounds fair.
What qualities do you think you have that will allow you to be an effective representative here in USG?
Well, I'm really outgoing. I'm really, I have an affinity for problem solving. That's a direct quote from my paper, actually. And I just think that I'm well spoken, and, you know, generally I get along with people, and I'm good with compromising. So I'm always thinking, I don't know, like, things are always going on in my head. So I'm always thinking about, like, oh, you know, maybe this could be a little better if people weren't throwing their cigarette butts all over the sidewalk or in the smoking area, or standing by the doors while they're smoking. Yes?
So I guess you just, oh, sorry. I'll defer to.
As an ESA student, same question again I asked the other candidate. As an ESA student, what would be your #1 goal with regards to the department if you were a USG representative?
Wow. Well, I haven't had any that are specifically pertaining to the engineering department, but one thing that I guess could kind of be related would be the dissemination of information regarding some of the really good services that our school has for students. I know, like, as an incoming student, I wasn't really completely aware of things like the exact, like, I had heard of Print to Hear. I didn't know exactly what it was. And, like, the greenies, for example, like, you know, there's North Loop, South Loop, Circle Link. I don't really, you know, I still am not exactly sure where they all go. And I've seen a pamphlet in the dungeon known as Access Services once, but that's about it. So maybe that information could be better disseminated.
Thank you. If you could please step outside.
Thank you.
And can we now please have Maximilian Friedel? Max, if you'd please approach the podium. You will have 2.5 minutes to present yourself to the assembly and then take any questions. You may begin whenever you are ready.
Yeah, hello. Dear USG members and representatives, I'm Maximilian Friedler, or please call me Max, and I'm an international student from Germany. I'm studying chemical engineering here at CASE, and thus I'm running for being elected a representative for the School of Engineering. Why do I want to join? I first heard of USG at the international orientation, and I didn't know what it is all about. But I got to know all the orientation leaders, of course, which were really awesome. And later on, I realized a lot of them are here in USG. So I thought, okay, that is a good place to stay. And yeah, that's why I'm here now. And what can I do and serve for? As I'm an international student, I know about the international issues on campus and would promote diversity on campus. I'm experienced in community service and meetings like that in Germany, so I have a lot of experience I can share with this community here. I would also, as a student of engineering, promote interaction and communication between engineering departments and especially the chemical engineering faculty. So that's what I thought of, and yeah, I'll be glad to be able to serve you with all my power. So, do you have any questions? Yes.
So obviously you've only been at the university a short time, but in your short time here, have you noticed any issues on campus that you'd like to change?
I saw that the only building that is not really nice is the chemical engineering building. The only building on the quad, everything else is really fine, so it looks beautiful, but it's a little torn down. That is something, I don't know, I'd like to change, but I see an issue there, for example. Or another thing that'd be good to change is the TV screens. Where the information is running on, they're running from left to right, and you can't read it anyway because the second line will be gone, so will be cut if you have finished the first line. So you should be switching that from top to bottom. Yeah. So, just something you could actually do.
Thank you. If you could please step outside now.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you for your attention.
All right, and if we could now turn the recording equipment off. Ms. Ruska, you can please approach the podium. You'll have 2.5 minutes to speak and present yourself, and then take questions from the assembly. Please begin whenever you would like to.
My name is Tracy Ruska. I am running for the open Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing representative to the USG. I'm currently a junior here, and I'm serving as the executive president of the Undergraduate Student Nurses Association. The reason why I've accepted my nomination for this position is that I believe that nurses aren't adequately represented within the undergraduate community, and that hopefully by bringing an experienced leader in the nursing world to the greater undergraduate community, that nurses can be better represented and their unique talents and voices can be heard. I also think that those talents and voices can be a better part to the collective, as it is a unique skill set to help better the experience for all undergraduates. I think I am very qualified for this position. I am very organized. I am very used to handling student concerns and bringing those to the attention of faculty and staff. That's what I do currently in the nursing school, and I have for the past 2 years. I also run my sorority's house, so I am experienced with dealing with different case offices and getting things done effectively. I thank you for your time, and I'll take any questions.
Any questions for the speaker? President Agarwal?
What are your time commitments outside of what you've described? Or rather, better question, do you think you would have time for a commitment with USG?
Yes, I do believe I will have time for a commitment such as USG. The time obligations were made clear to me before I accepted this nomination, and I did think for a while how I could work it into my schedule, because I do think it's important when you commit to something to give it all that you can.
Representative McHenry?
What qualities do you believe that you have that will allow you to be an effective representative in USG?
I'm an exceptionally organized. I know how to adequately bring concerns of students from my caucus to USG and items as such.
Representative Moeller?
Number one concern of the nursing school right now, what is it?
The number one concern of the nursing school at the moment is that when you enter the university, they tell you transportation is not required for nursing school, but then you later find out that for a lot of your clinical assignments, they are farther away and you do need transportation, but they are expecting you to provide them, where in the beginning telling you didn't need to provide your own transportation.
All right, and that is time. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you could please step out of the room again. Ms. Ming, you can approach the podium, and you will have 2.5 minutes to speak and present yourself, and then take questions from the assembly. You can begin whenever you're ready.
Hi everyone. I'm Yi, and I'm running for the Weatherhead representative. I get interested in USG because I feel this is some place you can make a change. The first time I know about USG is from the ELP program, and then I just kind of get connected with USG, and I find you can really improve something yourself, not just complaining about others. And what I want to do for USG is I want to increase the campus spirit here. I mean, there are a lot of events here, but not really a lot of people go there. So I would just do something to improve the campus spirit, to improve the attendance to the events. Actually, there are many ways to do this. Like we can cooperate with the RHA, and we can also contact our professors or just use some other ways to do that. And I just hope the students here can feel they belong here and they truly love here. And that's just all what I want. That's all. Thank you.
Any questions for the speaker? President Agarwal.
Do you have any concerns specifically that you'd like to address within your school, the Weatherhead School of Management?
Stress? I never feel stress. Sometimes you get stressful, but it's like how you make yourself and how you choose yourself. If I'm in a really bad or I feel stressful, I just take a day out and listening to music or watch TV and just close the door. Everything just go out and I'm here. And then after that, I'm just totally normal.
Any other questions for the speaker? Vice President Dooner.
So what is one thing about the Weatherhead School that you'd like to change if elected?
I think everything right now is fine. And this afternoon, I saw people have the barbecue outside, and it's really lovely scene, I promise. And so I would like to say I hope there's more events like that, and people just get to know each other, and we really have our own networks, and that's it. Thank you for your question.
Final questions. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Ming. If you could please step out of the room again. Okay. Thank you very much. And can we please now have Mr. Wolfgang Roche? Okay. Mr. Roche, if you could approach the podium, you'll have 2.5 minutes to present yourself and then take any questions from the assembly. Begin whenever you're ready.
Hello, everybody. My name is Wolfgang Rösch. I'm 21 years old, and I'm majoring in economics at the Weatherhead School of Management. My origin is Frankfurt in Germany, where I'm a successful student in the bachelor program of Business Administration and Economics. When I arrived at Cleveland and the Case Western Reserve a month ago, I really have been impressed. The campus is wide open and just beautiful. I'm totally happy that I made it to study in this environment. But this made me think as well about how can I get better involved in the university affairs and to contribute to the society I'm at. I want to join the USG to bring ideas up, seen from a person who doesn't only get to know Case Western Reserve for the first time, but also the American university system as well. With my European background, I observe things slightly differently and will be able to compare them with my home experience. These two sides combined may give me, and you as well of course, interesting new ideas for the campus. One of the first things has been that there is no such sense of community in Weatherhead as I'm used to in my economic faculty. It is my target to encourage relationships between older students of Weatherhead and new ones. I could imagine having evening events with a whole body of the faculty students, including anybody else who wants to come. For example, the undergraduate students barbecue, which took place today in front of Peter Lewis, was something I really appreciated. Since I'm also a very communicative and outgoing person, I'll talk with people about their thoughts and concerns to figure out needs which have been unknown so far. There will be a lot of time for me to do that. I do not have any other commitment at this university, so I will be able to focus my concentration on this one thing. Having the necessary excitement, which this unfamiliar challenge will bring, and the free time to deal with problems, I hope I will be a good future fellow of you. Thank you very much.
Questions for the speaker? Representative Mueller.
Obviously, you've only been at the university a very short time, but have you noticed anything specifically at the university that you'd like to change?
There some stuff like I have some stuff, for example, that there is not that sense of community in Weatherhead. That was one of those things. But there are like more practical things, for example, that there is no LCD sign at the circling in front of PW Lewis. Like these small things I already saw, which maybe changed.
Any final questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Roche. If you could
Pleasure.
step outside again. Oh, excuse me, sorry.
I didn't say a word.
Is there any other old business? All right. Seeing none, we will now move into new business. Vice President Hale.
I move to introduce resolution R.21-01.
Second. All right. Speaker in the pro. Representative McHenry.
Just realized I had Bill B21-02. Anyway, resolution R. Thank you, Parliamentarian McKee. Resolution R21-01 is the resolution referring to the possible Blackboard Mobile Learn iOS and Android applications. Both of these applications exist for the iPhone and Android phones right now, but Case Western Reserve University has not yet activated these for use by Case students. What this resolution is doing is we are requesting that they activate the app so that Case Western Reserve students will be allowed to use it to check their homework and whatnot. And I'm open to points.
Ms. Dorbeck.
Have you had any discussions with with IT and gained any thoughts that they have about this?
Vice President Dooner and I are working on meeting with the person in charge of Blackboard.
Any other questions? Representative DeBoss.
I defer to Vice President Dooner.
Vice President Dooner.
I think, well, some of this we're going to cover in discussion, I assume, right? I guess the short answer is you're correct. I think it was enabled at some point in the past, but now they just upgraded everything, and so it might have gotten reset or something.
All right.
Any other points for the speaker? Representative Malloy.
So are there not currently plans to activate this application? Because I feel like if they already plan to, then this is not necessary. If they didn't already plan to, that wouldn't make any sense.
We are under the impression that they have not yet planned to activate this application.
All right. Thank you, Representative McHenry. Do we have a speaker in the con? Okay. Seeing none, we will move into discussion for 3 minutes. Vice President Dooner.
Okay, just to clarify the status of the Blackboard mobile app, it's probably just an oversight. It's because there's a lot of things that change around when you upgrade to a new version, and they might have just missed it. Anecdotally, I met with the first person, Part A down here, Lev Gonik, earlier this week and mentioned it to him, and he's like, oh, that's not enabled? Really? It should be. So this resolution is mostly just a typical sort of thing that USG would like to see. It's not really like a sledgehammer of force on ITS that they're going to disagree with. I think it should be pretty agreeable because it's no cost to the university. It's completely free. I'm under the impression right now it's completely free. So yeah, and also we have a meeting with person C, Sue Schick, later this week, I think. So we'll be actually talking about it then.
Any other points for discussion? All right. Vice President Hale. Bill resolutions do not need to be tabled, only bills.
Oh. Never mind.
Revert.
Move
Yes.
to vote by acclamation. Vote it down. My motion. Objection.
Never mind.
Motion is retracted. Vice
Call,
President Dooner.
call the previous question.
Second.
Okay, now to call the previous question, to end discussion and go to a vote. All in favor of moving to a vote, please signify by raising your hands. All opposed? Abstentions? All right. Motion passes. We are now in a vote. All those in favor of passing Resolution R.21-01, please signify by raising your hands. All opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Is there any other new business? Representative Williams.
I move to introduce Bill B21-. Second.
Okay. Do we have a speaker in the pro? Representative McHenry.
While Representative McHenry takes the podium, just a reminder, 2 notes. The corrected bill is the separate sheet of paper I handed out, not the one in the agenda. It was in on time, but there was a mix-up with printing between me and Andrew, so it didn't get printed into the agenda. Also, this is a bill that amends our bylaws, so it will have to be tabled for 1 week. So keep that in mind when wanting to end discussion.
Anyway, wow, that was fast. Anyway, this is the iClicker voting bill. Basically, this is going to change the operating bylaws so that there are now 6 distinct voting methods, and this is the one of second most importance, only behind a roll call vote. With that said, I'm open to points.
Questions for the speaker? Representative Thomas.
Do we have to supply our own iClickers?
No, I think.
Yeah,
defer to Vice President Dooner.
Point of order, the Appendix A is up on the projector for you. The notations are underlined and bolded. It includes inserting electronic vote as the second order in the voting order of our operating bylaws under a roll call vote.
Points for the speaker. Any remaining points? All right. Thank you. Representative McHenry. Is there a speaker in the con? All right. Seeing none, we'll move into discussion. President Agarwal.
Just wanted to clarify, this point wasn't finished. We are borrowing a set of clickers, iClickers, from Student Affairs. Student Affairs bought this set of iClickers to use for the summer camps that they hold for NYSP, I believe it's called. So they never use it actually during the school year. And even if they do, no one is using them at 7 p.m. on Tuesday evening. So they have generously allowed us to borrow them, and we will be assigning a clicker, I believe, at every meeting that we intend to use them, and then returning them back to us, and we'll return them to Student Affairs. That's the system that we've worked out with them.
Vice President Dooner.
So one thing about the potentially contentious part about this, I suppose, is the ordering of where iClicker voting goes. And so when we were drafting the bill, we thought it would be good to put it so that it's difficult to, because it's more difficult to use a less, to a lower precedent, you need 3/4 or 2/3, 3/4 vote to use a lower method. So it would take 3/4 to vote secretly. I think someone could propose an amendment if they so desired to switch the order with secret ballot if you thought that if someone thought that it was more important that it's easy to be secret.
Representative Williams.
Would this affect voting for, say, candidates in elections?
No, as elections must always be by paper ballot, so those would not change.
Representative Thompson.
I'm not sure how this is functionally different from a roll call vote already, because you know who has what clicker, right? So it's essentially just doing it with electrons instead of.
Essentially, but roll call vote in the parliamentary sense is defined as reading through their names and they must respond with a yes or no. So it might be a bit of a technicality, but on the technicality, I would say we could not do it with our current bylaws. This, explicitly gives us permission to do this type of voting. So there's just no confusion about it.
Ms. Pulaski.
I guess what Vice President Dooner said about the secret ballot versus electronic vote, I do think that it would be obviously up to the Assembly in terms of like elections and things, have always been done by secret ballot because the results aren't published, and that it would be hard to make it harder to, so if someone really wanted to know like who was voting for what. You could very easily get it to an electronic vote, but it would be much harder to get it knocked down to a secret ballot. And so I think that functionally most of the time it wouldn't make a difference, but I think when you actually really need a secret ballot, it could be hard to attain.
As a point of order, for elections, they are defined to be by ballots cast. So we would still need to collect ballots for those. That is a Robert's Rules definition of election sections. So if you have all of...
It does not supersede the Constitution.
I mean, if it is, can you at least point to the
I can take a look and find it.
Representative Gallo.
I'm not seeing why there's, can somebody like tell me why you're opposed to this? I'm just confused.
Any speakers? Vice President Dooner.
I was just going to move to table Bill B 2002.
Second.
Okay. There is a motion to table Bill B 21-02. All those in favor of tabling the bill, please signify by raising your hands. All those opposed? Right. Abstentions? All right. Bill B 21-02 has been tabled. Yes.
So next week when the bill is presented, is there once again a speaker in the room?
No, we just move into discussion on it.
Perfect, great. So in the course of this week, I'd love, it'd be really cool if you guys could really come up with your questions and put some thought into this and decide what might be what's troubling us. Be very clear. Debate is so
Okay. Is there any other new business for tonight? Any other new business? Okay, seeing none, we will move into open forum for 7 minutes. And I'd like to just remind the Assembly that if it's anything personal or anything that is not of interest to the entire Assembly, please use the USG feedback form.
Also, I will be coming around and collecting your ballots now for voting. So if you could please have those ready, I'll be around to pick them up.
Representative Sabe. Granted. Representative Fitch.
Has anybody else noted any of the amount of like dead animals around campus lately? Like there's been a dead bird on the steps by the Veal garage for over a week. It's not actually gone, just it has decomposed to the point where it's only bones. It's been there that long. Is there a reason why no one's been taking care of these?
Does anyone have a response to Representative Moeller? Or yes.
If you put this number in your phone, it's 368-2580, and then that's the facilities line. If you ever see like dead animals or like leaking water or things, you should call that number and let them know, because otherwise we have a limited number of facility staffs, and so like the bird that has disintegrated to like bones and feathers, it's really gross, but it's probably just that no one called.
What's the number?
368-2580, straight down the middle. And if you call after 5 p.m., it goes directly to security, so don't be alarmed.
Vice President Cummins.
In case you didn't read the Daily today, the U.S. News report came out on colleges, and we dropped down to 38th.
We went up.
So we went down.
Down in number, but up in rank.
41 to 38 is down. Okay.
Any
It's
other
better.
points for
It's
open
better.
forum?
Okay.
Representative McHenry.
So does everyone read that, or do you want me to summarize? No. Okay.
Representative McHenry.
I was just wondering if anyone else noticed this, but Fribley has recently been using disposable plates and forks and whatnot. I was just wondering, I really don't think that using disposable plates that everybody just throws out, it creates waste, and I'm not sure it fits with the environmentally conscious direction that CASE is headed. Anyone else have an opinion on this?
Mr. Vaughn.
I know that the reason for this was that the dishwasher broke, and they're working to fix it currently.
Okay.
Yeah, they have to redo the whole dishwashing system.
Representative Ladelfa.
I talked to Bon Appetit's main manager for Fribley, and they said it could be upwards of a week or two to get the new part for the dishwasher.
Representative Malloy.
I have 2 quick points. The first is regarding the big controversy we had today about the international students. In the future, I hope that when we nominate someone and have them come and speak to us, before that we go through that whole process, I hope that we determine their eligibility so we don't waste anybody's time or our time. Secondly, on a more general note, I'm not really sure why this is, but I've recently noticed that Twing completely closes to students at like midnight or so usually. I'm not really sure why Twing closes when Wade is open 24/7 for students, as is Fribley, as is all these other places with computers and chairs, and all these other things that Twing has. But Twing closes early for some reason. It isn't always available. Twing has card readers. All the entrances to other parts of the building lock, so there's no reason like it wouldn't be a security hazard. I don't really see why Twing can't also be open late at night like these other buildings.
All right. Are there any? Oh, Mr. Mannix.
Yeah, just this is like it's okay to just say something to you. Like,
yes,
okay, cool. I guess feedback. I understand that rankings are super important, but it's also something that they are. It's just one company, and it's not that it's arbitrary, but it does skew schools based off the data. So I'd encourage USG to consider like programmings and initiatives that can not only allow us to climb in the ranking, but improve the student experience on campus, because ultimately it's about what our experience is over the 4 years. So that's just my 2 cents on those. I don't know, but good work for us going up or down or however you wanna. Yeah.
Okay. Advisors report. Colleen, do you have anything?
2 things. One, Ellen and Jaisal, if I could talk to you 2 seconds after the meeting. And secondly, kudos, Anthony. It has been a hell of a first meeting. And seriously, the 3 of you have a very difficult job now. Have a very difficult job. And I think all of us in this audience need to remember that when we're wanting an immediate answer. And seriously, you gotta remember you're all in the same boat here. But seriously, Anthony, consider it very well.
Thank you. Hey. Announcements. Vice President Cruz.
Well, I was just wondering if we had anything for the feedback report or feedback form, because we didn't mention it.
So we have a new feedback form. VP Dooner recreated the form so it's not a mess for the rest of exec to read. So it works the same. So usg.case.edu/feedback. There's a couple of things talking about the spirit wall and the post-check signs, and possibly talking to SEC and figuring out where they are. And then also lighting issues along the elephant stairs that James is already on top of.
Ms. Pulaski. Ms. Dorbeck.
Ingenuity Fest is this weekend, and if you don't know what that is, it's this really, really awesome art and music shebang downtown under the Detroit Bridge, and it's 5 to midnight on Friday, 12 to midnight or 1 a.m. I think on Saturday, and then till the evening on Sunday.
Representative Mueller.
My open invitation for Nacho Tuesday stands. It's 11 p.m. tonight, though, at its regular time. Sigma Nu. Bye.
And do we have an announcement from our guests? Yes?
Yes. My name is Kim Long. I'm from Kaplan Past Profit Admissions, and Divya, I believe, invited us here today. We have a kind of a neat announcement I wanted to give you guys. We're offering a free practice test on campus on October 8th for the MCAT, the LSAT, the GRE, and the DAT. If anyone is interested, we're passing around cards right now, you can sign up for that. It's a great free opportunity if anybody in here is thinking about going on to any of those professional schools. If you fill out the card, we'll enroll you in it. It's totally free. If you can't make it that day, it's on a Saturday. We're usually in Sears Hall. We work with Career Services to put these on once each semester. We'll put you in. If you can't make it, not a big deal. We have plenty of free events online as well. So if anybody wants to sign up for that, fill out the card, and we'll handle it from there. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Mannix?
Okay, this is a shameless plug, but once you finish going to Ingenuity Fest, which is awesome on Friday, you should come to Dance and Translation on Saturday. Or you're gonna be at your retreat, but tell your friends about it. And there'll be a video DJ and food from Murray Hill Market and a lot of fun, so.
Mr. Orbeck? Yes.
Dance and Translation is located in the lovely multi-purpose room and Rough Rider room of Carlton Commons. So we're taking over all of Carlton Commons.
Any final announcements, Representative Malloy?
I do believe we'll all be at retreat, however, this weekend.
We will have our own dance party at retreat.
In your honor.
Any final announcements? Representative McHenry?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Hoo-ha!